forever, 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 forever.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Legends Never Die, where neither will you if you know Jesus. There won't be any cards shown in this video, so if that's what you're looking for, go ahead and cut it off. It's a contest entry for John, Boggs Fan, who just hit 1,000 subs. So first of all, congratulations, John. It was great meeting you at the National this year. I enjoyed the time we got to spend together, hanging out, chatting a little bit, and talking. We need to stay better connected, my friend. That's as much my fault as it is yours. But I love what he's doing with his contest. As I was trying to work something in about it related to this in a contest I'm going to be doing in the future. So this was great timing, John, because I was already thinking about it. He wants us to name at least 5 channels and give them a shout out that have less than 500 subs. You also have to be a subscriber to John's channel, that kind of thing. He'll be checking, so you have to do that and make a video response. He's got some cool prizes, but that's not the point. I wanted to support John and help celebrate him reaching his milestone, because that's pretty cool. Hope to get there someday myself. What I decided to do was, I've got 10 channels, and I've got it in 2 segments. Not to belittle any other channels at all that I'm shouting out. I wouldn't have chosen them if I didn't like them. But I've got 5 that are under 500 that I feel like are must-watch. I watch literally every single one of their videos. And then the second category is guys that I also believe deserve a shout out, even if I don't watch every single one of their videos. One of them I do, but I want to give them a shout out for various reasons. We'll get into that because I don't want this video to be too long. So the first 5, the must watch channels, and I'm going to go from most subs to least subs under 500. First up, Ground Chuck, my friend Kyle. We've got a never-ending trade going back and forth. That's been a lot of fun. A cool way for me to connect with somebody in the community. First person that I'd done that with. He was actually the first YouTuber I ever talked to on the phone, which is pretty cool. Like I said, he's got 462, so just under 500. He collects vintage. He collects Hall of Fame autographs. He collects Ted Kluszewski now. He does set builds. He does some boxing and some things like that. Loves the Mariners, bobbleheads. So you'll see this recurring theme. People tend to like things that are kind of like their own channels. So there are some similarities there with Kyle's channel to mine. You know, the Hall of Fame stuff, the vintage, the set builds, you know. We tend to gravitate towards things that we like, that we show off on our own channels. So, Kyle, wanted to shout you out. Again, that's Ground Chuck. Next, Iconic Baseball, Al. Someone else I got to meet at the National. And something that's cool about him, at least in my opinion, I think I was one of his first 10 subscribers, maybe even the first 5. Found his channel. We chatted a little bit on Instagram. And what he does is he is showing, in his opinion, what are the most 100 iconic players and collectible players of all time. Dave Blue Jacket 66 may not approve, but I do. And in that, as he's going through this countdown of players, he's got autographed baseballs, he's got vintage cards, he's got autographs, different items like that, as well as some other things that he shows off, you know, top 10 Hall of Fame autographs in his collection, or top 10 items from his childhood in the 90s, those kind of things. But really what I love about Al is he's a really nice guy, great dude. It was so easy to talk to him at the National. He's a little bit older than me, but we love a lot of the same things about why we gravitate to the sport of baseball. He's a little bit of a sports nerd. He likes the stats, like me. I like that too. And he incorporates that into his videos sometimes. So I enjoy that about Al's channel. So 408 subs, Iconic Baseball. Check him out. Next, I watch every one of this guy's videos too. His name is Chris. His channel is called Hall of Fame Pullers. Now, he does a lot of TTM autographs, but it's all centered around Hall of Fame. And he's got a lot more Hall of Fame autographs than he even thought. We got to chat on an episode of Golden Age of Cardboard together, talking about collecting autographs of Hall of Famers, whether in person, TTM, or pack-pulled autographs. So that was cool. Chris is a good guy. He's been a big help to me in the hobby as I've gotten some Perez Steel Customs signed. He's been a big help with that. Really good guy, and he also incorporates his sons into his channel and has little clips of them doing sports things and things like that. And honestly, his channel inspired me to do the same thing with Luca. I think it's really cool to capture some of those moments and kind of a snapshot in time, something that hopefully my son can look back on as well as his sons will with his channel. So I think that was cool, and I like that about his channel. Great collection too, high quality collection. Check him out, 299 subs. Next, yes, The Drew. He recently changed his channel name to The Drew, A Vintage Legacy. Yes, I'm biased. He's one of my best friends in the hobby and was a friend of mine before he was ever on YouTube. He tells great stories. He still has a good collection, even though he'll downplay that very much. And he's had a lot of it be added to my collection, what's mine now, and the stories of that and the connections we've made because of the hobby. If you ever wonder why you do this, just go watch a Drew video because it's what he is passionate about. It's what he talks about the most, is the connections and relationships you make and the legacy that they will leave behind. So I give you a hard time, Drew, but it was a good channel name change. The Drew, A Vintage Legacy, 162 subs. So last of those top 5 of my must-watch ones that I'm shouting out that I watch every single video. The last one, I guess it's another honor of mine that I was the first YouTuber he ever met at the National this year. His name is Dom, and he is Staven Sports Cards here on YouTube. He has 154 subs. It's funny, we've had conversations about, hey Dom, if you told somebody in a nutshell, what do you collect? And he doesn't want to be pinned or painted into a box, but I've been trying to label him with something. And this is what I would describe Dom as. I think Dom is a Hall of Fame type collector. And what I mean by that is he's very largely sitting around the Hall of Fame, as well as his Red Sox, and he likes Carl Yastrzemski, who's a Hall of Famer anyways. But Dom really likes getting different pieces from different sets as a representation in his collection, typically of a Hall of Famer. So a type collector, if you don't know what that means, is where you just want like one or maybe a couple of that set to say, oh, I have a T206. Oh, I have a 1953 Topps. Or, oh, I have a 64 Topps stand-ups. Whatever it is. And Dom likes doing that, whether it's post-war, pre-war, and is centered around vintage. He's building the 65 Topps set, but he's told me many times it'll probably be one and done. We'll see. But he's got a great channel. He's a young dude, so I relate to that. He's even younger than I am, that collects vintage and appreciates the history of the game. So, again, if you like a lot of the components about my channel, I think you'd like Dom's channel. Staven Sports Cards, 154 subs. We're at 8 minutes already, and I've got through 5 channels. I guess I'm just going to be long-winded, whatever. I do work at a church. I'm a youth pastor. It happens. The next 5. I don't watch absolutely every single one of their videos. A couple of them I do, but I watch the vast majority. Some things are just not my forte, and that is what it is. I'm sure most people don't watch every single one of my videos, and that's fine. But the first one I want to shout out, the most of these 5, is Jay Stottlemyre 1, 372 subs. He's had a transition of what he collects over the past couple years, but now he collects the GOAT. That's right, Babe Ruth. And the Babe Ruth stuff that he has, incredible. We're talking high dollar stuff. That's not anything and everything. That's why you should watch somebody. But it's pretty cool to see some of those big dollar pieces that I don't have, I can't afford, but he does. He's able to add those to his collection either by saving, trading, whatever it takes to get there. I mean, not everybody's a multimillionaire, and that's all right. But to be able to accomplish that and have those things, I mean, they should be cherished. And he does that and shares that with the community. And Josh is a good guy. We've got to talk a few times, and I hope to meet him in person someday. I do watch every single one of Josh's videos. I'm not going to lie. I've seen every one of them. So I wanted to shout him out. Next, 249 subs, Alan's Cards. Alan. I got to meet him briefly at the National, not for very long, but for a few minutes. He is a vintage slab collector of a lot of Hall of Famers, especially, but a few other players. He's got lots of Willie Mays, a lot of Mickey Mantles, a lot of, he's got Gehrig, he got the 54 Johnston Cookies Hank Aaron. I mean, quality collection. And Alan doesn't make a lot of videos. I actually noticed he's made 32 videos on YouTube. So I've watched all those because he doesn't have that many. And they're typically short, brief to the point, and shows you what he's got. So if you like that kind of thing, which in his case I do enjoy seeing what he's got, channel for you to check out, Alan's Cards. Next, Sticks and Seams, Mike. Now, I'll admit, Mike, because I said this, that I don't watch every single one of your videos. There's a few that I don't watch because it's just some 90s stuff, which isn't really my forte, but I probably watch 75% of your videos, if not more. Mike, what I like about Mike, super good dude. We've done a trade. We've talked before. I hope to meet him someday. He collects Ken Griffey Jr. He collects Hall of Fame autographs. He does the dual autograph set that Bill Hall of Fame Collector is also doing. And some vintage, he does that as well. So pieces of what I like and pieces of some things that I don't really do, like the 90s inserts, which is a nice change of pace every once in a while. I see something I don't normally look for or see because it's not really in my wheelhouse. So that's kind of nice. And he only has 188 subs. So check out Sticks and Seams. Next, this guy is one of my friends off of YouTube and was before he got on here, and he's changed his channel name and kind of what he does, and most of you have probably never heard of him. It's my friend Jared. His channel is Average Braves Fan. Now, I'm a Braves guy, and yes, I watch every one of Jared's videos because him, myself, the Drew, and Will text each other when we put up a video and talk to each other about how it went and all that kind of stuff. But what he does now, he's a season ticket holder for the Braves, and it's cool to see kind of his experiences at the ballpark for playoff games or giveaways, or a breakdown of, the Braves made a trade or something like that. He also does big picture baseball stuff, so it's kind of like his opinions on the happenings in MLB, especially to do with the Braves and his experience at an MLB ballpark on a regular basis. But he also does some of his own collection. He's done a little bit of it, and I think he's going to do more in the future as he kind of gets going. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, check him out. But I could not shout him out. I'd catch so much grief in the group chat if I didn't. Love you, Jared. And then last, this channel has 42 subs. And I have watched all of his videos because he's only got a few so far. But I wanted to shout him out for a specific reason. He reached out to me on Instagram and said, hey man, saw your channel, love your stuff, whatever. And I encouraged him over time, hey man, you've got some good stuff too. You need to make a channel. You need to make a channel. And it's special to me that I was able to help encourage someone to do that. I haven't had the opportunity to do that with a lot of people. I'm not that big time. But I was able to do it for Dave. And I think that's cool. And I want to continue to support him and give him this shout out. And, if he wants to, build connections and take off in this YouTube community and get to know people, which is what I love about it, I want to help him do that. And his channel name is Legends of the Dugout. He has 42 subscribers. I've seen some of his collection that he hasn't shown off yet. Trust me when I say he has some really good stuff. He does Hall of Fame. He does vintage. He's talked about autographs as well. So a lot of the same things I'm into. And he seems to be a really quality person. So I want to support him. And I hope to meet him someday. He lives in South Carolina. I hope I'm not giving that away. I won't tell exactly where he lives. Not too far from me. So hopefully we'll be able to meet up in the future. So quick rundown. Again, Iconic Baseball, Ground Chuck, Staven Sports Cards, the Drew Vintage Legacy, Hall of Fame Pullers, Legends of the Dugout, Alan's Cards, Jay Stottlemyre 1, Sticks and Seams, and Average Braves Fan. I'll attach all their links in the description, and I hope you guys will give them a look even if you don't subscribe. Until next time, keep collecting, and God bless.